What is up, guys? Hazy Ames here. Got the Alan Wake 2 review. I wasn't going to buy this game originally, just because I didn't really think it was my type of game, my type of style. But anytime a game gets talked about for Game of the Year, and people really saying good things about it, giving it 10s out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, you kind of wonder, I have seen a few reviews where people weren't so kind to it and called it a walking simulator. But we're gonna kind of dive right into here. In the background, we'll just have some gameplay going. This is pretty early on in the game, so there shouldn't be too many crazy spoilers, but that's not to guarantee you're not gonna see stuff that you didn't know about if you haven't played the game. But without further ado, let's get right into it. The graphics, guys, it is great. It looks good. I don't have any complaints. I haven't had any like weird graphical bugs or issues or weird things going on. As soon as I say that, I remember one point. There was one part where the FBI agent's hair was doing something weird with the light, and that's the only thing I've really noticed. But other than that, it looks good, really good. Some of the faces on the NPCs, aren't the best in some of those models, which is kind of disappointing. But overall, it looks good. It really makes you feel like you're in a forest, or like you're seeing right here, an abandoned store. They really did a good job of putting things in that made you feel like you were in an abandoned store in the forest. So I give graphics 9 out of 10. It's really hard for me to give a game 10 out of 10. That's gotta be pretty spectacular. I think I don't even know if I gave Final Fantasy VII Remake 10 out of 10, but I might have. But graphics are good. 9 out of 10. Gameplay, this is where I think some people had an issue with the game, where they were saying it was kind of like a walking simulator. I get where they're coming from, and I'll tell you why in a second. But after playing this game for about 8 to 10 hours, this is a Resident Evil style game. So if you're explaining it to someone, and maybe you yourself who are watching are like, I wonder if I'd like this game. If you like Resident Evil, you'll probably like this game. It plays very similar. The inventory you see right there is very similar. It's very slow-paced type of game. You gotta figure out locks, things like that, little puzzles here and there. It reminds me of Resident Evil like crazy, the way it plays and the style it plays. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people I don't think really liked it because there's a lot of walking around and just picking stuff up and like reading manuscripts and putting like the case together. So I get it, but if you're going into it expecting a Resident Evil, I think you'll be fine. It's not like a high-paced, action-packed, action every second all over the place type of game, which is fine. I think it fits good. I think it's good. I like it. I don't see anything wrong with it in the style of game. The one gripe I do have about the gameplay is when you run, your character like jogs. I wish the run was a little more aggressive and you had more speed, because the difference between walking and jogging, yeah, it's there, but it needs to be more. Because there was a time where I got lost in the forest for a good like 10 minutes, and it was just me being kind of, I guess, stupid in how I was going about trying to figure out where I needed to go next. But it made it even worse that instead of actually like running at a good speed, my character's run speed was jogging. That's my big gripe there. It really reminds me of, if I'm aging myself here, it really reminds me of like X-Files too. Like if you ever seen X-Files, the TV show, it has that vibe too, which is kind of cool. I liked X-Files, so it's really a good game for me. I got that supernatural vibe with the detectives trying to figure out what the hell's going on in this small town. Enemies are okay. They make you think a little bit on how to go about taking on different encounters in the game. Nothing too crazy complicated. You know, there's maybe like one or two things you have to look out for, and then counter it, and then shoot them a few times, and they're dead. So enemies are good. I'm okay with the enemies so far. We'll see if I end up doing a final verdict, and if I bring up the enemies again, we'll see. I always say this, I need to quit saying it, because I don't know if I'll do a final verdict on this game. I might, but I mean, so far it's really good. I don't expect it making like a complete 90-degree turn and going in a different direction. And if it does, hopefully it's for the better and it blows my mind. So yeah, gameplay is good. I like it. It's good. And honestly, there were times where I was getting close to running out of ammo in certain situations, which is kind of a different challenge, which is very Resident Evil. Sound is good. Music's okay. It really kind of puts you in the type of situation that you're in. The music goes with, so the music is very good. It gets you that good immersion. Makes you feel like you're there with all like the sound effects in the background, and if it's raining and like insects and things moving through the woods and voices talking around you and in your head. There's a lot of weird voices that just say random things as you're walking through the world, and it's kind of creepy, man. And you get a good creepy vibe, which is perfect for this game. It's good. So the sound, I give the sound 8 out of 10. Sound is 8 out of 10. I think I gave the gameplay score, but if I didn't, that was 8 out of 10. Characters. The characters are good. I do like the FBI agent. Her name is just escaping me. But the FBI agent is interesting, trying to figure out where she fits in. It's weird because of some of the encounters you come across in the world, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, so I don't reveal too much. But some of the encounters you come across, you're just like, huh? Like, what are they talking about? So I am wanting to learn more about, like, you know, what is truly going on with her, and it's kind of keeping me guessing and making me think a little bit of what is really going on with the FBI's character. Of course, Alan Wake character is good. I like how he is the author, and he's like kind of writing and typing is like affecting the story, and it's very unique how they incorporate that part of the story of him being the writer and a character in the story in the game. And again, I'm going to leave it at that because I don't reveal too much of how all that works, but it's very cool. And if you do play this game, I hope you liked that feature as much as I did, or the way they used that feature. It's a good story. It's, you know, obviously supernatural, kind of weird at times, and I am kind of grasping, you know, it a little bit, but I do feel like I get lost a bit here and there. I was originally gonna give this a 9 out of 10 on the characters, but I think I'm actually gonna give it an 8.5, maybe even an 8 out of 10. Characters are good. I think they could be a little better. I just think like just a little more dynamic, and some of the lines, the dialogue lines, a little more dynamic. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for characters. Replayability, if you've been following me or seen any of my other videos about story games, you'll kind of know that I play these story games and play them through, beat them, and then I really just kind of put them on the shelf. Maybe in a few years, I'm like, you know what, I want to revisit that game and dust it off, the dust off, and then reinstall and play. But honestly, this is probably going to be a one and done game, kind of like Starfield was for me. That's not to take anything away from the game. That's just me personally. So replayability for me is 1 out of 10. And I'll say, you know, replayability is really on a personal level. If someone could go back and play this and try to 100% it and get all the collectibles and things like that, that's just not me. I don't have time for that, and I want to play other games, get you guys some reviews on some other games and my opinions on those games, instead of playing the same game over and over. Bugs in the game that I ran into, honestly, non-existent for me. I haven't ran into anything game-breaking at all. Haven't had to like reload for any reason because, you know, something didn't work when it should have. So yeah, I mean, overall, you know, I honestly give this game a 9 out of 10. I'm interested to see where the ending brings us. It is a very good game. It honestly surprises me. And for a $50 price tag, I don't think you can go wrong if you're a fan of Resident Evil games. It is a little different than Resident Evil, but that's just the vibe I get when I'm playing it. I mean, if you're a Resident Evil player, just running around, you can tell it's just kind of like a Resident Evil-esque game. And it works. It's a lot of fun. It's creepy. It's jump scary. It works. For $50, I don't think you can go wrong. Maybe wait and pick it up on a sale, like a Black Friday or Christmas sale. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I will see what I got planned for the next one. It might be a reaction video or something like that. Also, please like and subscribe. And I was gonna say, I got back from vacation actually last night, really late at night. And I want to say, if you have never been to Branson, Missouri during Christmas time at Silver Dollar City, you should go. My wife and I went, and it was spectacular, and we loved every second of it. But I just want to kind of share that with you, a little bit of my personal life. And much love. Have a good night or day wherever you're at in the world, and we will see you on the next one.